Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to our Friday evening Shabbat service. And we hope that everybody who's joining us, whether you're in Erie or wherever you happen to be, we wish you a wonderful, healthy, and happy Shabbat. And we'll begin as we invite our president, Janice Whitmer's to light our Shabbat candles. We just had our first board meeting of our new board this week, and so Janice is officially taken the reins and is starting to do great things. So thank you, Janice, for your dedication and your commitment. And please lead us in a lighting of our Shabbat candles.
Thank you, Rabbi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'halak ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who hallows us with mitzvah, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
So we'll turn together to page 10 and join in Hine Matov.
Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad, hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat is a time to set the troubles of the world aside, to think of the week that was, to leave the challenges and the stresses of the week, and to embrace a sense of peacefulness, a sense of quiet. And each week we reenact that mystical relationship between God and the Jewish people as we join together and we welcome Shabbat into our hearts and into our homes with Lecha Dodi on page 20.
Lecha Dodi.
As we continue to welcome each other and welcome Shabbat, we turn to page 24 and join in Shalom Aleichem. And I realized actually that, I'm sitting in my home, you're in your homes, Jessie is singing away in her home, and the best part of it is I can mute myself and sing as loudly as I want to, and nobody complains. It's a beautiful thing.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruch hu ni leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Tzidchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
And we turn to page 26, and there we find Chatzi Kaddish as we prepare to engage in our evening part of the service.
Yitkadash Shmei Rabbah, ve'amad yivarach yirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayedecho Beit Yisrael, bagala u'bizman kariv, v'yimaru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach, ve'alam olam me'hamaya, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, Shmei Kedusha b'richu, le'la min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imaru amen.
Turn over the page to page 28 as we join in Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, le'olam va'ed.
And on the following page we join in Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher Bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, B'chochma Poteach Sha'arim, Uvitvuna Meshane Itim U'machalif Et Hazmanim, U'mesader Et HaKochavim, B'mishmerotehem B'rakia Kirtzono. Borei Yom V'Layla Golel Or Mipnei Choshech V'Choshech Mipnei Or. Uma'avir Yom U'mevi Layla U'mavdil Ben Yom U'ven Layla Adonai Tzvaot Shemo. El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. Everlasting love you have offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Ahavat olam med Yisrael
חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו, ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו, ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works, and the living language that gives its form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We turn to page 34 and join in the words of Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
On the following page, we continue with Va'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובמלאכתך בדרך ושופך וקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory, may earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osef eleh, Nora tehilot, osef eleh, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, malchutecha ra'u v'necha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe, ze'elianu ve'amru, ze'elianu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osef eleh, Nora tehilot, osef eleh, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed.
Page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
Baruch atah Adonai haborei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu el kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haborei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu el kol amo Yisrael.
Page 44. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'nilvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ubayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat, L'dorotam berit olam.
Page 47. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, or rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. So we join together in Amidah, page 46.
Adonai, sifataiti tachu, yagiti Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Omer Chasadim Tovim, Ekonei Hakol, Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Ule'ula livnei bneihem, Man shelo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, B'chayei hakol atah rav lehoshia, Morid hatal. Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol barachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha b'geburot, Umidom elach, Melech mimit u'mechayeh u'matzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh kadoshim b'chol yom yahalucha selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Page 53. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see, wherever we gaze, that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we didn't know it. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, in whom alone we serve in reverence.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu Ve'amecha Yisrael U'tefilatam be'ahava tikabel U'tehi l'ratzon Tamid avodat Yisrael Yisrael Amecha Korov lecha, korov penei, elabadecha lechanenu. Shefach ruchacha aleinu. V'techezena einenu. Meshuvecha leTzion. Merachamim. Baruch atah Adonai Amazir shechinato L'Tzion.
God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our life within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, v'lecha na'eh lehodot. Page 61. Grant us peace, your most precious of gifts, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness in our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon Lecho Shalom, Ki atahu melech Adon Lecho Shalom. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. וטוב עיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם.
We take a few moments, leaving the prayer book and its liturgy aside. We look inward to the prayers in our own hearts and in our own minds. So we take these moments of silence to think and to open the opportunity for our own personal conversation with God.
יהיו רצונים רפים, יהיו רצונים רפים, ראיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you. Oh Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Oh, say shalom bimrama. Uyasi shalom aleinu. Israel. Leimeru, Leimeru. Amen.
We turn together to page 253 for our prayer for healing. And we think of all those in our community, our friends, our family, who are in need of some healing. There are so many who are ill and sick in our community, in our world. The virus continues to spread, and with it spreads its pain of illness, its pain of sickness, pain for family members, helping those loved ones through this difficult time. And we think of all the other illnesses that we have in our lives, those who are struggling with illness of all sorts of varieties, whether it's an illness of the heart, the mind, the body, the soul. And we think about those in our own community. And we mentioned Lisa Chinsky, Kevin McRae, Emily Bostwick, Myrna Urkov, David Markowitz, Martha Snyder, Donna Mogul, Ken Mueller, Helen Hein Chavez, Teresa Kissel, Jessica Watson, Judy Weisrock, Barbara Shapiro, Eric Perry, Carol Alexander, Vivian Vidmar, Randy Martin, Joan Harf, Nan Briggs, Joyce Miller, Anthony Mathis, Rick Wright, Joseph Besetner, Donald Moritz, Jamie Katz, Susan Dietz, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Pam Post, Kevin Hicks, Fran Porras, Nancy Comey Bell, Robert Ruggiero, Eric Perry, Michael Byron, Barb LaMonica, Scott Gordon, Luda Kaplan, Doug Russell, Julie Griewant, Michael Fejcek, Linda Katsoros, Ruth Randall, and Marianne Matlock. And if you have other names that you'd like to add to our list, please add them in our chat box so that we can send our loving prayers of healing to all those who are in need. As we join together in our prayer for healing, page 253, Mishaberach.
Mishaberach Avotenu or Abraham Primotenu, be the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu or Habracha Namotenu. Bless those in need of healing, refuah, renewal of body, renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, and on this beautiful, beautiful Shabbat evening, we are beginning the Shabbat in which we read a double portion of Torah Matot Mas'eh, and this double portion really has the first part of it deals with responsibilities of the individual behavior of the Israelites as they are wandering down through the desert. It begins with a long conversation about vows and responsibilities, and when you make a vow, you have to stick to it and be accountable for it. And it also contains a whole section of what happens when we go to war and how we have to behave when we do have to engage in conflict. The second parsha, Mas'eh, is very different. It's a detailed account of the places that we have wandered. We wandered from here to there, all through the desert. It's a travel log of sorts, and it usually is. We read this in the summer at a time when lots of us have the opportunity, or take the opportunity, to do some traveling, to visit friends or family, to take a road trip, to go camping somewhere. And this year, of course, all of that is just far more difficult. But we're on a journey anyway. We are on a different kind of a journey than we'd like to be, perhaps, but we are definitely on a journey. We're on a journey through this sometimes very confusing experience of this global pandemic. We hear about various different studies from medical professionals, and they tell us that there are this way or that way that we can help protect ourselves, or at least reduce the odds that we might contract this virus. And then we hear sometimes conflicting information from political leaders saying, you know, those medical people who went to school for so long and who have been doing this work for so many years, nope, they're wrong, we have the answer. And so it's hard to know. It's hard to know what the real answers are. It's so easy to be confused. I do know that one of the best ways to ensure that we limit our exposure is not to put ourselves at risks. And as the summer continues, this beautiful weather makes it easier for us to be outside and to take advantage of that. And tomorrow, I hope you'll all join us at Beach 7 on Presque Isle as we join together at 8:15 for a beautiful Havdalah and enjoying the sunset. Everybody will wear a mask and we'll stay a little bit apart and be able to at least welcome each other and welcome in a new week. Because really we're all on this journey together and we're working hard to find ways to continue to build our sacred community. Last weekend, we spent some time at the cemetery cleaning up and cutting back some bushes and some weeds. It's a remarkable place. It's a remarkable place. It is a story of the Jewish community here. As you look around the grounds, you can see the evolution of Anshe Chesed from a modest burial society formed almost 175 years ago to the thriving congregations of the mid-century to now our wonderful close-knit community. And like our biblical ancestors, the journey that we're on is probably going to take longer than we thought, just as their journey took longer than they thought. They wandered for 40 years. We're almost sure not to have to do that, we hope. But as they wandered, they learned. They learned a lot about themselves. They learned a lot about what it means to be part of a community. And I think that throughout this time, we've done the same. And we continue to do that. We learn about what our community needs. We learn how best to present things to our community. And we learn how to really connect with each other. We learn how to continue to build, to continue to grow. And so on this beautiful Shabbat, I wish you and everyone that you love a Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat of peace and of health and happiness. And we're going to turn back to our prayer books and turn to page 282 as we join in Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגוהר עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרא בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, בארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
In nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision or grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's eternal plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death all reveal a divine purpose. God, who is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set God before us and shall not despair. In God's hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love we are comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts and fill our spirits with an abiding trust in you. On this Shabbat, we are in the period of Shiva for Marilyn Wyman, mother of Lisa and Dean Malice. And we'll be doing the Shiva Minyan for Marilyn. I'll be leading the Shiva Minyan for Marilyn on Tuesday evening at 7, and we sent out that information. We're also in the period of Shloshim for Franklin French, and we're observing the following yahrzeits on this Shabbat: Hannah Simon, Abram Sayer, Philip Elfenbein, Hai Levin, M.S. Meyerhoff, Emma Marks, Hans Nathan, Benjamin Goldman, David Rudolph, Edgar Frank, Philip Nast, Charles Goldsmith, Francis B. Eisenberg, Benjamin Pollock, Lena Levy, Celie Kleiman, Coleman Perrell, Florence Charters, Julia Rawson, Sylvia Galinsky, Robert Lechner, and Libby Wolf. And if others have names that you would like to add, please add them into our chat box as we turn together to the words of Kaddish on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. We have a few announcements on this Shabbat. If you like the picture behind me, please join us tomorrow evening for our Shabbat at the beach, and we can see the beautiful Erie sunset live and in person, and be able to participate in Havdalah and join with all of our community. So Beach 7 at 8:15. Tomorrow morning we'll have a Torah study at 11 a.m. as usual, and we hope that you'll join us immediately following our service this evening for our Shabbat Oneg. On Tuesday, as I mentioned, we'll have the Shiva for Marilyn Wyman, and it will be an opportunity. Hopefully you'll be able to join us on Zoom, and it will be a great time to share some memories about Marilyn. I'm looking forward to learning more about this wonderful, wonderful person. We also have book club scheduled for Tuesday. We know that that's a conflict, but that's okay. People can. We're trying to make some accommodations so that we can start a little bit later. I think that's all of our announcements for now, and we thought that this week at the very beginning, everybody has been watching Hamilton, and of course it's 4th of July, and thinking about the founding of the country and what went into creating all the things and the determination and the journey that they were on. And so we thought, Jesse and I thought that we would share this particular closing song with you.
קרן כל יציר יציר נפרע להתנסה בחפצו קור אזי מלך שמו נקרא בידו אפקיד רוחי ותישן בעירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא יירא לה לה לה
We want to wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom. Stay healthy, stay safe. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Take care. Shabbat Shalom.